Did you get one of these in your packet?
Which one is that? One of
This
the,
thing. He keeps trying to get me.
which one's that for?
Ed,
Oh, that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. You didn't say anything, sir.
Winthorpe Foundation, PNC Bank, Central Avenue, Ocean City.
At least we didn't miss the bump in the street.
Yeah, that was a problem. So that's why we followed up so fast.
That's right, I was just wondering, I was like,
What's going on? I see you like send an email, you just do all these things based on that email.
He actually ran for president, like
should at least
like
have a hard
an
copy.
independent. Ed O'Donnell. Really? Yeah. I kid you not.
We just right away.
we would have passed this around down all the way down the line, you know, people.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, give it to Mr. McWigan here. We'll just read it and pass it down from Mr. Ed O'Donnell, constituents.
What does it say?
I don't know, he left it for you, and,
Oh, is it for me?
yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Goes on the name,
Yeah, I just dropped it off. Poor guy.
huh? Can you just hear her?
It must have been, it just showed up. Thank God we're not playing the Phillies first game on Thursday night.
They had two family members win that lottery for the tickets, and they were interviewed. And
Oh, really?
collected. Yeah, the girl, they set her up, they had these donuts, and she in the box that said,
Right.
"You just won." And she-
My son was up at the head of Charles for the crew races. He had
Yeah.
had a team up there. They did a raffle up there, and two of the girls on his team won 2 tickets to the game, right, the first game.
Is that cute?
And they paid $25 a piece for the raffle.
It's not bad.
You know, so they got me seats.
That's good.
He said, "Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll buy them for you, $100 a piece."
Yeah.
So he said,
You're saying they go from like 700 up to like 2,000.
"Oh yeah, they're a lot."
You know what I mean? I want to retire and be a full-time councilman.
Get that sign on the board.
Where's the other guy?
Follow.
You okay?
Yep.
All right.
Are we on?
We are.
Ready for takeoff.
Feeling anxious, sir?
A little bit, a little bit.
I'm just making fun of Mr. McGarry. That's okay.
Okay.
He's really just trying to show his shirt off.
That's right. National champions.
Yep. Hey, they're gonna win the World Series.
I'm looking for my
Just ask
resolutions
Alexa.
to follow.
Did you hear that? Alexa, do you have one? Here you go. Alexa, who's gonna win the World Series?
It's just gonna fly right through it from the hours later.
I know. I only pray. I always pray for the
I was surprised to hear that.
Absolutely. I do too.
They take one of the first 2 games. They got the 2 aces on that. It's gonna be interesting.
This meeting is called to order. Would everyone please rise for the flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of, oh, I guess I should do the roll call first. I'm sorry.
That's
May I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Bruno? Here. Councilmember DePanthelis? Councilmember Dill?
Here.
Councilmember McCary?
Here.
Councilmember McGuigan?
Here.
Councilmember Owen?
Here.
Council President Johnston?
Here. Also present is Mayor Glasser, Administrator Frost, City Clerk Samuelson, City Solicitor Smith, and our engineer, Mr. Snyder. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. The agenda for this meeting is posted in City Hall and on the city's website, summerspointgov.org. Okay, we're going to start tonight with recognizing the 2022 USA Ball Hockey for Natalie Keenan and, I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up your name, Tatiana
Tatiana.
Santiago. Beautiful name. Mr. Mayor, you want?
Well, I will defer to Madam Clerk if she would read these for me.
Certainly. Proclamation number 8 of 2022 recognizing Natalie Keenan and Tatiana Santiago, local girls U12 champions of the 2022 Ball Hockey Future Stars Invitational. Whereas USA Ball Hockey organizes international ball hockey events across the world, it is known as the Olympics for Ball Hockey. And whereas USA Ball Hockey introduced a younger feeder program in USA and created the Future Stars Invitational, of which several states participate, including New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. And whereas this began as a boys-only event, however, last year they introduced U16 girls, and this year added the girls 12U division for the first time. And whereas this year 3 tryouts were held for the girls' teams, and 2 local athletes from Summers Point made the team, Natalie Keenan and Tatiana Santiago. Whereas in previous years, New Jersey has had several championship appearances but has never won. And whereas this year, the U12 girls went undefeated, posting 5 shutouts, including 1 game that went to a 12-round shootout. And whereas the girls U12 went on to win the championship held in Buffalo, New York on August 26th through the 28th, 2022. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Summers Point, on behalf of themselves and our community, hereby congratulate Natalie Keenan and Tatiana Santiago, as well as the entire U12 team for an undefeated season, and applaud the team on the championship win. And be it further resolved that the mayor and city council wish these individuals continued success in all of their future endeavors, both athletic and otherwise.
With that being said, we're going to bring us down and give you 2 proclamations. Copy that and get some pictures, but we're proud of you. Anytime that we can recognize 2 young ladies, for that matter, anyone, for such a great achievement, we are so honored to do so. So come on down and, oh, isn't that bad? One of the neat things I get to do about being the mayor is I get to do neat things like this. We wish you the very best of luck. So there's one for you, and there's one for you, and how are we? Yeah, we're turning around.
It's not that easy.
See what you want there. There we go. Hold it out. Oh, there we go.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations, ladies.
Madam President, may I just
Yes, please.
interject? I'm assuming you started your street hockey career down here in Kern Field. That street hockey program down there has a very long and colorful, but an excellent history for so many years down there. So many children have been served by that program there, and you are shining examples of that. And as 2 young women, this only proves to you and to me and to your family that you can do anything. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a presentation from Eagle Scout Carson Endicott on a project that he is looking for approval for.
What the whole gang,
Yep, he bought his backup.
go anywhere though.
Hi, I'm Carson Endicott. I've lived in Summers Point my whole life. I'm in 10th grade and go to Mainland Regional High School. I've been doing Scouts since I've been 6. And I'm currently a Life Scout for Troop 32. My project is over where the library is, the Summers Point Richard Summers Memorial. I'm planning on putting pavers behind it, connecting it to the flagpole, and putting a knee wall behind the flagpole. I'm also thinking about putting 2 to 3 benches there and adding some lighting there to light it all up. The reason why I am doing this project is because I've been going there to the memorial since I was a Cub Scout. I've always wanted to do something there for it because he found our town. And the estimated price of my project is $12,000, and I'm thinking of fundraising for it by asking money donations from local businesses and organizations, and asking for donations of materials, goods, and supplies from local supply companies. And I have one more option. I have one more. I also have an additional fundraising idea of how the individuals within the community can take a part by selling pavers that you can get inscribed with your name. You buy the brick, and the money pays for the paver, and it goes back into the project. And the people that buy the pavers will leave their mark in Summers Point.
I think it'd be helpful too if you showed the rest of the audience your poster design.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Endicott about his project?
That wall, that knee wall, wait, that's going to serve as a bench, correct?
Yes.
What's the topping of that? Is that sandstone, or is that?
It hasn't been decided yet. First, it needs to be approved, and then you guys can decide on what type of material it is.
Yeah. But the wall itself is going to be brick.
Yeah, it's going to be paver.
And this is going to be installed by,
Me, my volunteers, and other scouts.
okay. There's a, obviously that's a skilled trade that,
Yeah, my dad's a union carpenter and he's a contractor, so he's going to be the advisor
yeah.
to make sure that it all gets done properly.
And we just happen to have an engineer here. Does that need a footing?
Probably need
Some sort of footing, yeah. Yeah. I'd like to put the mayor on the spot.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Mayor, what do you think of this project?
I like it. I do have some questions myself.
There was some sort of plan for that back of that area, and I don't know if that encroaches upon that. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not.
No, I know they have been in contact, because Carson and came in and talked to Council President and I before last meeting, and I know they've been in contact with the, Mr. Garrity from the Historical Society.
Yeah.
Because that is actually, the memorial was sponsored by the Historical Society. And I think in deference to them, that they should be made aware of any type of plans
Yeah.
that are done over there. Now, have you done that, Carson?
Yeah, we contacted the Historical Society and they said that they think it will be a great idea. I also have been talking to Mr. Frost about it, and I went to Public Works about it. I also talked with the mayor and the president of the council about it, and hopefully if I get it approved at this meeting tonight, I could start fundraising for it to February, so that I could start getting everything ready to start the physical project in March.
I'll just say, at one point, there was some discussions about making that a graveyard.
I believe that.
But in looking just at, obviously it's not the scale here, but I don't think that's going to encroach. I mean, you have plenty of space there if that was ever to come to fruition.
It is to scale.
What are the dimensions of the
10
project?
by 40.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the full,
Just to answer your question on that, Mr. McWigan, if you don't mind.
sure.
There was at one time discussion when we were very close to bringing home the remains of the Intrepid, and that the remains would be placed at the memorial, but I believe the memorial itself is capable of holding the remains. So
Okay.
I think that's.
Well,
yeah.
that's fine. Even if there were, full-size graves, it would certainly fit in the back of that. And I really think that this is a nice compliment to the memorial. And I think it makes it more of a site to visit. And quite frankly, I think that site should be more, I hate to say this, but more promoted. People should be coming to Summers Point just to get their picture taken with that. So,
Yeah, I also welcome that, because Mr. McWigan's quite right. I think that's one of our, with many memorials we have at Summers Point, that's one that's put a lot of work in, and that's.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face
For
it,
me?
my favorite
Yeah.
son, Summers Point, Richard Summers, who fought in the Barbary Wars, lost his life with the crew of the Intrepid. You know what, I really think this is a great idea. It's just that I really think that making sure there's coordination, whatever you want to do, I just want you to make sure you run it by either Mr. Frost or Mr. Schneider, right? So that, it's done right, right? And in accordance with whatever policies or laws that exist right now within the city.
Madam President, I think you guys have to be really complimented on what you just done. You've looked at, and I basically a point in the city where you think you can improve it. And you really need to be complimented by everybody in this room for taking the effort, the time to figure this out, to talk to the people you've talked to. And I think it might be a good idea, and Madam President, you can figure out how to do this because you are Madam President. Maybe someone from council should be sort of a liaison and work with them, like Mr. McGuigan, who has a lot of experience in construction, and help walk them through the process. I know I'm volunteering your stuff, but, you do like this.
No, I
think they need like a
appreciate-
sponsor.
I appreciate you saying
Well, I
that, and
think-
I would, well, it's up to Madam President,
Right,
but
right.
I would certainly jump at the chance of doing that. And obviously, Carson, you are a product of your parents, and that to me entices me to even want to work with you. So, whatever I can do. And certainly, I know that, as we all go through different campaigns, there's just going to be some money left over somewhere that might sprinkle towards this project,
Right.
so.
I think it's a good
you know,
idea.
And I, not to toot my own horn, I also have fundraising ability too, so, and newspaper contacts, so we can really run with this you know, I was looking for something to do.
Right.
Mr. Garrity, but,
No, I will not
wasn't he a
volunteer
union
anymore.
mason?
He is a union mason, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
All right.
Somebody can talk him into that.
I have Mr. Gary's phone number, so.
Okay. I think this is a great project. I think you've definitely done your homework. As you said, we've spoken, and you've gone to all the other entities that are involved, and you've definitely kept in touch with Mr. Frost, and I think with guidance from our engineer just to look over things and the other professionals that you're going to use, and the other professionals that have volunteered to help you take advantage of all of that. But I have no objection to this at all. I think it's going to be a really nice project and a definite asset to that area.
Thank you.
All right, good. One more thing. Madam President, every Eagle Scout project that's been played out here in town has only enhanced the town itself. I mean, whether if it's building birdhouses or the American Legion is just outstanding. So I look forward to this.
Yeah, I agree.
Good.
Council President, I just want to thank you and congratulate you for taking such a large project on. It shows that the youth of not only Summers Point, but this country is positive and wants to do positive things. And I guess the only other question I have is how much is the brick?
We haven't
They don't make
decided on how much
Haven't
it is
decided?
yet. It's $50 to $100, but it hasn't been decided yet because I haven't talked with you guys about what color you want them or what type of paver you want.
Well, I'll be on the record of purchasing up to $100, whether it's one brick or two bricks to start your
Thank you.
fundraising campaign.
There you go.
I think that's a good idea, and you know what? I'll match your $100, and I'll buy one too.
Okay.
All right?
And I will as well.
Here we go.
Yeah, count me in.
Come on, guys, come on.
All right, so we're all buying bricks from you.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
Get us all up. Lucy's in, too.
Yeah,
Madam
yeah.
Madam Clerk is
Does
on.
this have to be formalized, or we just?
Take a straw vote, just get your support. Everyone here support it?
Anybody have,
Yes, yes.
yes, okay.
All right?
Thank you very much. Good luck. Okay.
All right, let's get together in another week or two, all right? Have your parents call me,
Great project.
all right?
Thank you, good job.
You gotta get an Eagle shirt.
Yeah,
Great.
look at this guy.
Good
Good kid.
What are you doing?
job, guys.
All right? You okay? Yeah. Hey, good job, guys.
See you tomorrow.
No RACI here, you
There
know?
you go.
That's it, go Red Hawks.
You can't hide.
I can't hide, I don't know where I'm at. I didn't even know he left.
Okay, we'll move on to communications. I am going to take some time here to read, maybe not all of it, but some of the communications that we've received, and at least give you the gist of what we're hearing. First of all, Mr. McGuigan had forwarded a petition to me a few weeks ago with signatures on it, and he's also received, forwarded these to me the other day. There's 19 signatures on this petition, so I do want to read the petition to the public so that you know what they're asking for. We, the concerned residents and voters of Summers Point, are against the new ordinance recently adopted by Summers Point City Council allowing weekend Airbnbs. This would allow any property owner to turn their residential property into weekend transient rentals. We, the citizens of Summers Point, propose the City of Summers Point City Council and the governing body adopt the ordinance recently approved by the City of Linwood, and to include the following. 1, a minimum of 30 days Airbnb transient rental term by any tenants. 2, a minimum of $1,000 per mercantile license yearly for any landlord that wishes to operate anything less than a year rental. 3, the city of Summers Point charge a minimum of 4% tax for Airbnb short-term rentals. 4, properties that acquire a mercantile license for a short-term rental be reevaluated for an increase in city taxes as they will be operating a commercial business in a residential neighborhood. 5, strictly conform to the City of Summers Point's municipal code. 6, no more than 3 30-day rentals per year. 7, 2 or more complaints from neighbors will trigger revocation, cancellation of the property owner's mercantile license. And 8, strict fines of $1,000 per violation for noise, nuisance, and other violations of the city's municipal code with substantial increases per violation. I just wanted everyone to hear what that particular petition says. I also received a few other ones. All of the council members have received copies of these correspondence. I have one from Mr. Robert Gabriel. Again, I'm going to just give a short version, or we'll. And his opinion is that short-term rentals aren't a danger to Summers Point or the police department. On the disturbance issue, anyone breaking the law or committing a crime is dealt with accordingly to the guidelines set forth by the police, like the thousands of complaints that have gone on for years and years, way before now. But short-term rental units are not the problem. We, the people, are mobilizing support in this matter and will fight for our freedom and rights given to us. It belongs to us. We will not quit, because fighting for freedom and those that want to take it away is worth it. And that's what my father and those men on a battleship did on a tragic day in June 16, 1945. Those men were willing to die for the freedom you have today. Honor the U.S. Constitution, and those men stand up for freedom. Say no to those that want to take away from you and your friend, neighbor, or family member. Ask yourself what's next. One day it might just come down and take your house, and you won't be able to do anything because you didn't stand up. Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Another one we received this week. Resident of Massachusetts Avenue, Patricia and Richard. And the only reason I'm not going to read the whole thing, but they did ask me to present these at a council meeting, so that's why I am trying to give you the gist of what their conversations are. They own a Airbnb. The families had great things to say about their experience in our home and time at Summers Point. They treated our home as if it was their own, if not better, and a few have even asked to return next summer. In the event of a problem or situation, we handle it. These are our neighbors, and it's our neighborhood and our community, and I don't want to spend my retirement living next to someone who feels we did not respect their community. As we wind down our working careers and plan retirement, we would like to have the opportunity to offer our home in Summers Point for guests to enjoy. During these uncertain economic times, the additional income, although small, is beneficial in paying taxes, landscaping, and maintenance until we can make this our permanent home. We follow strict guidelines, vet our temporary guests properly, and do not permit large groups, parties, or rowdy behavior. This is our home, not a flop house. We live here also. Our home is an investment in our future. Having owned several small businesses, I feel the short-term rentals bring a much-needed value to our economy, and welcome the opportunity to meet with Town Council to review findings, discuss options to make this a win-win for all. Cooperation, not elimination. Cooperation of homeowners, renters, and officials with accountability. So I thank everyone for taking the time to reach out and voice their opinions. Does anyone, I do have one other correspondence. It's from Mr. Collins that he did start to read at the last meeting, but unfortunately ran out of time. But the general gist of his also is about the charging for parking, the paid parking on Bay Avenue. He believes that we should keep it. He believes that the rate $1 an hour should be increased. With the increased fees in Ocean City this year, they're doubling their beach fees, and they also have paid parking. So he still believes that our beach is still a great asset. And that's all I have. Does anyone else have any communications to offer? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening. First of all, I want to thank the Summers Point Police Department for another great trunk or treat last Saturday night. Summers Point Police go beyond what is normally expected of a police department, and that is in these things like National Night Out, and Trunk or Treat, and the movie in the park. They've done so good with these things, and they fall really in the line of community policing, which I'm very happy about, because it is another aspect, part of the community, and reaching out to the community and understanding that this police department is responsive to the people and want the people to know that they are there for them. So congratulations to Chief Summers and especially Kate McKenzie, who does a great job with organizing these things, putting them all together. I also, another great event that we had was Horsepower by the Bay on October 15th. And that was put on by the Summers Point Historical Society, Kirk Garrity, and that crew, and they did another great job. I think there were over 100 cars there. You know, and I'm not a car aficionado. I'm lucky I just get in the car and drive it, and as long as it works, I'm very happy. But the cars that were there that were unbelievable, and I think that it's just another thing that highlights Summers Point, brings people to Summers Point, because those people come here, they see what we have, and they get the chance to see the Bay Avenue, and then they see what's in town, et cetera, and they spend time here in town, and that's what we're all about. With that, Veterans Day is coming up on November 11th at 11 o'clock a.m. at Patriot Park. The guest speaker will be a retired FBI agent, Mr. Jim Darcy, used to be the resident agent in charge of the FBI office here locally. And Jim was a captain in the United States Marine Corps, so I'm looking forward to this and working with the Veterans Advisory Board and having another solemn Veterans Day service. And last but not least, I was advised by Emergency Management this evening that there is a coastal flood warning or advisory in effect from tonight until tomorrow afternoon. So just to be aware, I know Jason and Greg will be on their toes with this. So with that being said, thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Frost. Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Mr. Snyder.
Yes, two quick items. The two projects that were rejected for being over budget are being rebid and being advertised: the 2022 stormwater repairs Phase 2 and the Exton Road Pump Station, which we should have the results for the next meeting.
Has there been redesign to those projects?
They've been redesigned to reduce costs, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have a committee reports to offer?
Yeah, Council President.
As everyone should be aware by now, the council committee, we have a council committee for short-term rentals. We had an initial meeting, and now there's a second meeting coming up. Will not include the council committee. It'll be, the meeting will consist of our professionals. our code enforcement people, our city clerk's office, our municipal administrator. And the key issues that are going to be discussed is mercantile licenses and fees, inspection procedures, enforcement procedures, and then they will report back at a third meeting that will also include the council committee to discuss their findings and to try to work towards a resolution to the short-term rental ordinance. And based on the letters I heard tonight, there's a lot of varying opinions, and it's going to be a difficult, and we should take our time as a committee and as professionals in this council to make sure that we get it right, and that is ultimately our goal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council President?
Yes.
This past Tuesday night, Summers Point Historical Society worked in conjunction with the Patriots for the mansion of Summers Point. They had the Haunted Tales with a little fire pit going on down there. It was well attended, and it's growing every year, just to let you know. So it's a fantastic job with Kirk Garrity and Lynn McWayne and McElwain and McEwen, okay. And everybody else involved. It was a good time.
Great, thank you. We'd just like to just give an update on the parking committee. We did meet, and the recommendation to council is to hold off on making a decision until we have all of our facts and all of our research done. As of October, there is no longer a charge in the parking lots. That was the original plan, to not charge from October to April. So we feel that we have time to do our research, figure out the pros and cons, and figure out how to move forward one way or the other. Just wanted to take very seriously, this is a revenue source, and we don't just cut off a revenue source without making sure that we've exercised all of our options to try and make it work. And that's the committee's concerns, is that it is revenue. We have a rough year coming up ahead of us next year, and we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing for everyone.
Council President, I only have one question. As far as the signs are concerned, it's my understanding that they are going to be covered so that there's no confusion with the people that actually do want to utilize those parking areas between now and April. Is that
We do have we have signs coming,
We
or?
actually have signs that are prepared that are just not up yet. It says enforcement's there is no enforcement. There's no
Right.
between October and April.
Okay. And they're large enough that the public can see it, and there won't be
It might
any
be
confusion.
a good idea to look in to see if we can cover them, maybe with some kind of, maybe even Park Mobile has something that they use.
I would like to see them, not only the signs, but I'd also like to see them covered so that there's no chance of any confusion, people spending money that would be unnecessarily spent by the people who visit and utilize
Well,
those parking
it won't even charge you. When I was in Seattle this weekend, I went to park, and it won't, when you go into the app,
they won't-
they will not charge you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I just wanted
But to avoid confusion, I think it's still good to make sure the message gets across. And maybe Park Mobile has something that they could recommend, that they may even have something they can send us to use, so, okay.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Did I talk
Got a
too
phone
long?
call?
No,
Is that Big Ben or what?
no, that was definitely Big Ben. 3 minutes.
Gee. Okay, let's see. Approval of the minutes. Could I have a motion to approve the regular minutes from our October 13th, 2022 meeting, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. We have no new ordinances tonight. Could I have a motion to open, oh wait, we don't have any resolutions. Yeah, okay. Does anyone have any old business to discuss? Anyone have any new business to discuss? I do have something that I just want to bring to everyone's attention. We received notification that our health insurance rates are going to have a very large increase for 2023. I just wanted everyone to know that we are aware of this, and we're doing everything we can to try and figure out a way to alleviate the pressure that that's going to put on our budget for 2023. It's a lot of money. I would ask that maybe, we have reached out to the governor, to try and help us here with a solution to alleviate some of it. We're talking 23% increase almost. It's a lot of money for us. Not only is it a lot of money for the municipality, the county is also, it's a major increase for them in the millions of dollars. For us, it's a couple $100,000. For the county, it's in the millions. This is going to affect every single taxpayer, every single employee who has this insurance, because along with that, their contribution is also going to be increased. So I think we should, we're trying to reach out to our state, the governor, and any representative that we can, that'll listen to us, to try and get some help, and we hope that they'll have a solution for us. So I just want to make everyone aware of that, and that we are researching it and trying to do everything that we can. Anyone have any other new business? No? We're good.
Just approval for that?
Yep. Could I have approval for a social affair permit for All Saints Council Knights of Columbus for an event on November 10th from 6 to 11 p.m.? Anyone have any objections? Hearing none. I'm assuming everything is in order with their paperwork?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's approved. Discussion of the bills, Mr. Frost.
Sure. This evening we have a bill that's in the amount of $150,303.71.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now open for public comment. If you wish to speak, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. And unfortunately, I will remind you, we do have a 3-minute limit, so thank you.
Yes, Ed O'Donnell, Econo Lodge. There's an epidemic in society of rudeness, saying negative things to people, belittling people, ridiculing people, falsely accusing people, giving people threatening, menacing looks. Took the tour of the Wilmington, Delaware police station. They said 30% of the calls to 911 are false accusations. Lack of manners, lack of courtesy. It's especially bad on buses and trains. The opposite is, and this is what we need, to treat everybody with love, kindness, mercy, tolerance, friendliness. I graduated from Colgate University. It's the only institution I know where the main goal, stated goal of the university is to make everybody friendly. And the mayor knows this from his police work, that a lot of these assaults, shootings, murders, it starts with arguments, verbal harassment, saying negative things to people. And I went to Colgate University. My great mentor was Hal Lair, the football coach. Played at Oklahoma, 1940 Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl championship team, a national championship team. Coached at Houston. And he said, he's the friendliest guy I ever met. He said, everyone, and we have to try to bring it out. And there's the Mark Twain quote, I can live on a good compliment for 6 months. So I'm telling you, old-fashioned friendliness would solve a lot of other problems. And I don't have Wes Swain's phone number, but tell him to go to the Penn-Princeton game November 19th at Princeton. The band, the cheerleaders, the game will make him feel 17 again and forever 21. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sakura, 2 Water Avenue, Summers Point.
You don't know how to use a microphone? Thought you
No.
sure,
If you break it, you got to buy us a new one.
No problem, I got a lot of them. I just wanted to, first of all, thank Councilman Howard Dill for concentrating on this, short-term, I'm having short-term memory loss, but I'm talking about short-term rentals. Short-term rentals and going through and basing everything on facts. As we talked about in the previous times when I've been up here, we talked about making a plan, working a plan, and basing everything on facts. I do want to also say, you know, what I heard tonight about the paperwork that came up today, the signatures. We're not Linwood. We are a unique city. We are a city that is in Atlantic County and unlike many in our southern Jersey region. We are tourism-based. We can't help that. Our vision needs to be taken into consideration. We have a vision plan. The vision of the city needs to be taken into consideration. What I heard tonight is just going to cost more money because we will be sued. This is a far overreach for government, and I can tell you that Red Bank right now tried to put something in that's not even as overreaching as that, and they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to defend all the lawsuits that are coming in for this because of their soft-term or their short-term rentals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. You probably don't hear the muffling when you talk. Something's wrong with the PA system. You can hardly hear any of your words from anybody on the dais. So,
Is it worse when we're close up or when I'm back here? What?
it's
We test it,
everywhere. When
it
you were
gets
talking,
tested before every meeting and we can hear it in the back, so.
It was all garbled, and I asked the gentleman across from me, is it garbled?
So is it better when we're not right in front of it? It's not good at all.
You can't hear basically any complete statements that you're making, whether Howard was speaking or Sean was, or anybody. It was very, very difficult to put it together. And even the letter that you were reading, I had a hard time just ascertaining what you're saying. Don't start my 3 minutes yet, then.
Okay, all right.
Your 3 minutes are up already.
Yeah, I know.
Could you state your name and address?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bill Collins, 814 Bay. Just want to talk a little bit about the short-term rentals as well. The one, I did hear about the 30 days, 3 per year, $1,000 fee, 4% tax, a little bit out of reach. But Summers Point, again, is unique, okay? And Summers Point's always been known to be real friendly towards business. I think we just need to keep it that way. You know, so I'm not sure what we have, maybe 27 or 28 Airbnbs in town. From my understanding, there was only 2 complaints this year since the new rules were in place. You know, you got to consider really how many times a property owner can turn over that space in 52 weeks. Just know that the people on vacation obviously spend a heck of a lot more than the same week if they stayed at home. Trying to come up with some numbers that make it work, okay? Figure just, if 30 weeks of the 52, and you got 27 properties, that's 810 weeks of rentals, okay, that translate into money for the city, whether it's for gas or liquor or food or whatever, okay? It's a plus for everybody. You know, you just compare that to the 2 Airbnb complaints for noise, for trash. How does that compare with other calls that the police have received for noise other than Airbnb? Well, I did ask for an Oprah request, and under that category of loud noise and parties, there was 143 complaints from September 1, 2021 to August 31, 2022. And really, when you look at it, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties that accounted for 53% of the call-ins. I'm not going to mention the names, but I'll give them to you if you want them later. But they repeat. Noise. It might be, number 1 is loud music, then noise, then parties, then dogs, then just assorted noise, maybe a motorcycle or whatever, or yelling or screaming, or somebody heard a gunshot. But it's all over the board. And I think that's something that maybe council needs to look at, because after you read the police report, most cases, when somebody calls it in, they don't sign a complaint. And then you'll see the same, whether it's the same apartment number or room number, 1, 2, 3 days in a row, same people, same people. So maybe we need to take a look at those properties as well. It's not just going to be the Airbnb. So the penalty for Airbnb, is very specific. But like you're saying, and I know Howard was saying it, and even Janice was saying it too, you got to look at it. Yeah, you're going to have some bad apples just like anywhere else, whether it's illegal parking, noise, trash, overcrowding. You just need to have a list of what those properties are. In the Monday, September 26th press, I don't know if most people saw it, but there was a front page article on Ventnor. Ventnor looking at the rental issues. They don't even have an ordinance in place, okay? But they felt that, the owners felt they could fix the problems, and they had they had 30 people in attendance and 30 people more on Zoom. And comments, you can't, punish a lot for just a few people.
Please finish your thought, Mr. Collins. Your 3 minutes are up.
Oh, gosh, okay. All right, I'll just say this. If Summers Point and Airbnb could be a good combination, okay, if you just work it out. And you can't do the 3 strikes, you're out. 3 noise complaints. You have a next door neighbor that doesn't like you, they know you can complain 3 times, they're out. That's not going to work. I think you got to be a little bit deeper than that. And again, just the removal of the Airbnbs and those loss of visitors would just go to another accommodating town. And Linwood is not an accommodating town that has the waterfront and the beaches and so forth. Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck on the election.
Thank you.
Dale Primus, 57 Village Drive. Yeah, I have a problem with this too. The last time I was here, Mr. McGuigan, we were talking about the trees and stuff like that, and you said to me that, it was private property and you really had no control over it. And that, sir, that is so wrong, because if it wasn't for the
Well, it's just that, I don't want to cut you off, but you need to clarify. I'm not sure what the conversation was.
we were
when you were
talking
here
about the cutting of trees on the
Can
golf.
you just address me, please?
What was that?
Just address myself, please, as president. Just please address us, and address myself, and if anyone has any questions, we can. Please, just go ahead and let me know what your issue is.
Okay, well, the issue is that you said that the city council is not responsible for, and to me, that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, and the reason for that, if it wasn't for you guys, that would never have happened. That whole development and everything. What, are you taking a dim view of that? I mean, I just.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Clear what you're talking
You're
about.
not clear what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What property are you
What
talking
property,
about?
what
What
happened?
tree are you talking about?
We had a long discussion. I mean, you remember that short, sir? No, never mind.
No, please.
Let's do this.
Sir, please, no confrontation here.
No, okay. Thank you. I know sooner or later, we're probably gonna get into it, but I don't wanna do it. Let's not have a conversation about this. Sir, you're just wrong.
We still don't know what property you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Now, let's do this other thing. On Village Drive, the house that is, on Village Drive, the house that is, has all kinds of problems with it. I don't remember your name.
Oh, Jason Frost.
Mr. Frost? Mr. Frost. You went and talked to the building inspector?
Yes.
Now, one of the things you have to look at down there, you said you power washed this. I mean, these are code type things. He said he power washed the outside of it. All that black holes inside is behind the siding. That's number one. Number two, he was supposed to get the permit redone. That permit is not hanging on the wall. That's a violation of the law. There's no doubt there. Number three, all of that parapet wall that goes around the top there, that parapet wall, all that lumber that's in there is supposed to be pressure treated lumber. That is also code. And the reason for it, because all those walls that have to do with railings, have to withstand a 300-pound per square inch impact against them. Do you think any of those walls would do that right now? If they were CCA, they would hold up, not the way they were done. Now, I'm not gonna really directly accuse the building inspector, because it must have been an oversight, but this is a bad oversight. I would pity the person that bought that place.
Thank you.
Now, I hope you were gonna do something about this. This is a major.
Thank you, but I'm sorry your 3 minutes are up, but thank you.
Sorry, I didn't see you. No, that's okay. Patricia Pearson, 587 Marks Road. Every meeting I stand up, every meeting I say, is this another hiree? Is this another employee? Is this another eater? Is this another this? Is this another that? The bottom line is, this insurance that you just mentioned is a very serious thing. We all knew it. It just didn't come up. We all knew it, okay? The bottom line.
Actually, we didn't, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, you knew it before, about 2 months ago.
Right.
Okay, before you mention it now. I want to ask, is the League of Municipalities having their convention in November in Atlantic City?
Yes.
Well, every one of you better go to every meeting, and especially the insurance meetings.
I was at their meeting the other night, and it was,
You attended
yeah.
last year, I know the whole story. I'm telling you, this year, you gotta go. The other thing is, the state is not gonna help you. They're not gonna lower this insurance, and they're not gonna help the county either. So you can say, we're gonna ask for help. They're not gonna give you any help. You have to help yourself. And the bottom line is, you were asked to send that cord to Mays Landing. You know you were. You were too. We can't do stuff like that. You're asked to look at these employees and say, you absolutely have to have it. You're asked every meeting, and they go, there she goes again, there she goes again. All right, here I go again. Do not raise the taxes of Summers Point in an inflation year when people already have to pay $720 more for their fuel oil and everything else. And then you're gonna have the guts to come out here and say 2 or 3 or 4 cents. Oh, they raised the insurance. Do your homework, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President. My name is Peg Brady, and I live on Bucknell Drive. I have 2 sets of questions. One is an engineering question, and the other is an administrative question. Before, I heard some comment, but I couldn't hear it distinctly, about the Exton Road pump station. I'm curious to know where that project stands. I understand that the bids have been rejected. It was, according to the minutes in September 22nd, the resolution 196 was pulled from the agenda. So I'm not sure what the status is of the Exton Road pump station. And then the other question for the administration is, thank you. I want to thank everybody here for using your microphones to improve the hearing capacity here. But maybe it would help if we had some speakers, perhaps small speakers, maybe 2 or 3 in the back of the room that would facilitate being able to hear. Because when the council members are having a conversation, and especially for the gentlemen that are sitting here, when they talk to you, their backs are towards the audience, and their voices may not go into the microphone. So that's an issue. It's very difficult to hear. And I also tried, when I missed the meeting, the last meeting, I tried to go on YouTube to hear the meeting, could not get any voice audio at all. And I tried all the directions, and my husband has over 50 years' experience in IT. He's been doing IT since 1970s, and he could not get the audio. So I don't know if it's a software problem. All the updates are fine on my computer. You know, we have good internet connection. Cannot hear anything with regard to that. So those are my issues.
Well, Madam Clerk has spent hours with our IT to fix that. I can hear it sitting here. I can
Yeah.
hear it, so I know it's being recorded.
Yeah,
I can
have
hear it coming
two
out of,
neighbors,
yeah.
and both of them said they couldn't, and we have two different computer systems. I don't know what the issue is. So regard to the pump station, is there an
It's a
answer?
different alarm.
Sure,
It's
you
out.
want me-
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Mhm.
The bids, it was rebid based on some specifications to try to reduce the cost because it came in over budget.
Right.
So we're receiving bids the Wednesday before the next city council meeting. We really don't know if the bids are going to come in, you know, higher than budget still, or, you know, it really depends on what's submitted by the contractors.
Okay, were there a lot of redesigns on your end to get the bids lower?
The only change was originally there was 2 pumps.
Right.
They were larger pumps, but we met with the manufacturer and it was changed to 3 smaller pumps, but with the same capacity when they're all turned on. That was the only change because the larger pumps are more expensive.
Okay.
So basically the 3 pumps could be turned on depending on the flow. So if there's a small rain event, you could just have 1 pump. And then if there's a large storm, you could do all 3 at once.
Okay, where do you expect the water to come from to go through those pumps? Are they all coming from the Yale Avenue, Exton Road storm sewer there?
Yeah, we're not adding any new storm sewer. That's,
But they get that much water? Because
Um,
I went out a couple times in the rainstorms, and whatever was there, it disappeared very quickly.
the problem is if you have a large rainstorm when the tide is up, if you have a nor'easter, it won't drain like it did on the, you know, on a normal rainstorm.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of the pump, is basically for a high tide event with rain.
Yeah, I know, because the neighbors on the
Thank you.
outer
Mrs.
perimeter.
Brady, I'm sorry I've let you go way over your 3
Right.
minutes.
You and I need to talk.
May I have a motion to close?
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now closed for public comment. Could I have a motion to pay the bills, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we can pay the bills. Any comments for the good of the order?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Please be
That's
safe.
right, Halloween is, of course, October 31st, I'm thinking December, right? October 31st from 6 to 8 here in town. So, just be careful when you're out, and I do know that our police department will be fully manned that night.
Go Phillies.
Go Phils.
There you go.
There you go.
Red shirt on. Oh, she's got green. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, everyone.